Hello everyone. Um I'm Dr. Shoidindri Sen, Assistant Professor, Gopal Chandra Memorial College of Education, uh, which is in Kolkata, West Bengal, India. And I'm going to give you a presentation on critical thinking, brainstorming, and mind mapping. Now, let me first begin with what is critical thinking? Critical thinking basically is a reflective and reasonable thinking that is focused on deciding what to believe or do. It includes an element of reflection, that is self introspection, and reasoning, that is logical thinking, and which is focused on deciding whether you're going to believe something or not. So that is basically the aim of uh, critical thinking. And this is a hyperlink to a video on critical thinking, which you may watch at leisure. Now, the importance of critical thinking. The first and foremost importance that comes to my mind over here is it promotes thinking skills. That is, thinking is a very important part of human communication, because thinking is the communication we have with ourselves internally. So it promotes thinking skills. Next, it improves the way we express our ideas. Whenever we express our ideas, what we do inside is we think those ideas and plan those ideas in our mind. So it helps us to express our ideas. It provides tools for self-evaluation, because whenever you think critically, you're able to judge yourself better, whether you are right or wrong, or how you need to improve yourself. So you need to be very analytical about yourself, and you have to see yourself from an unbiased or unprejudiced perspective. For that, you need to have a critical point of view and objective as well. Objective point of view, I mean. It enhances presentation skills. Presentation, any form of presentation, is always contributed by critical thinking. That is, you think something in your mind, you plan it out, you chalk it out, and then you execute it in the form of a presentation. It improves comprehension abilities, because you are able to think properly, you are able to think categorically, reason logically, so you are able to comprehend or understand whatever is told to you in a much more clear manner. It develops reasoning ability. You have a very logical way of thinking, analytical way of thinking, and it promotes creativity, because whenever you have a tendency of thinking critically, you tend to be innovative. You tend to promote what is your own. So it promotes creativity, and your individuality is always highlighted. It enhances language skills, because communication and language skills are greatly affected by critical thinking. Whenever we think critically, we are able to understand critically. The LSRW skills are enhanced, and we are able to express things in a much more organized and critical manner. Next, it is crucial for self-reflection. Self-reflection means you are able to reflect upon yourself. Reflect upon, just as when you see in a mirror, or you see your face on the surface of the water. And similarly, you delve into yourself, you do self-introspection, and you reflect upon your own self and your own uh, whatever you do, your perceptions, so that you are able to have a clear perspective of your own self. Now, uh, top critical thinking skills. They include analysis, as I said, reasoning ability, problem solving. Problems can come at any point of time and in any form. It can be a big problem or it can be a small problem in life, and how you deal with it and you adjust yourself with the situation, that has a lot to do with your critical thinking ability. It enhances creativity, and it requires and it has a lot of close relationship with open-mindedness, because whenever you have an open mind, you have a clear perspective, you're not biased or influenced or prejudiced by anything, you do not have a limited point of view, you are able to think more logically and clearly. So open-mindedness is very important. Communication skills, on the other hand, play a very important role as well, because communication skills here are very crucial to express yourself, to understand what others say. And so critical thinking has a very important role to play in this regard. Now, the traits or the characteristics of a critical thinker. A critical thinker is always likely to be very reflective, to be analytical, to be very systematic, very organized and systematic about everything, not haphazard, not, kind of clumsy, and has to be inquisitive, must know the root of everything, must delve deep into the source of everything and try to excavate the root cause of a problem. They're truth seekers, that is, they want to you can't just explain to them any mumbo jumbo and believe and make them believe anything. They need to get into the truth of the matter. They're open-minded and they have confident reasoning. They have a reasoning ability and they're very confident about it. Now, brainstorming is a very effective tool for critical thinking. As you see here, brainstorming plays a very important role. Now, what is brainstorming? Basically, brainstorming is a problem-solving technique. Here, we give an individual, it can be an individual brainstorming or a group brainstorming. So, we give an individual or a group a problem. And that problem is usually visually given, which it may be stuck up on a board or it can be written on the board, and everybody gets to see the problem, and that vision of the problem sparks ideas inside them, and it involves spontaneous contribution of ideas. This is very important over here. The word spontaneous, that means here everybody is made to contribute in a spontaneous way. There is no extra indulgence given for contribution. So they need to automatically, without any hesitation, without any diffidence, just speak out or express their solutions, whatever their suggestions are related to the problem. Now, brainstorming focuses on the problem. It focuses on the problem. That means, just as Arjuna focused on the eye of the fish, similarly, when you need to brainstorm, you need to focus on the problem, and just all your attention has to be, pinpointed at that problem, so that different ideas keep on flashing in your mind related to the solutions to that problem. Now, it of course aims at generating solutions, and solutions in the form of, ideas, and there is a lot of interaction, because many a times when it's a group brainstorming, what is enhanced is, when you get to hear somebody say something, that person's suggestion can spark another idea in you. So that it can give you a cue, and you can tend to become more innovative. And it is important that many ideas are welcomed, without judging them. So one person might come up with an idea which may apparently sound completely out of the world and kind of nonsensical, but then such bizarre ideas are often very, very important and innovative. People who are able to think off the track. They don't go by what the crowd thinks. They are the ones who can be innovative thinkers. So generating solutions to problems, that's the chief aim. Now, one of the most important rules of brainstorming is that during the brainstorming session, there should be no criticism. No one should criticize anybody else, or smile or bully or mock at anybody else, or kind of make any comment on anybody else, because their different ideas should come out spontaneously. It is important that whoever is conducting the brainstorming session should have the ability to emanate answers, to generate answers from maximum speakers. In fact, all the speakers should contribute. It's not that one or two of them should speak and the rest of them should remain quiet, because mostly there are people who hesitate and they feel that if I say something, others may laugh at me. But over here, the rule is there is no judgment passed during the session. Everything, the analytical part, the analysis of the ideas being given, are done at the end. So screening is not done during the brainstorming process. During the brainstorming, whatever comes up is noted down by the teacher or whoever is conducting the session. And the more bizarre the ideas, the more welcome they are. So there's no amount of criticism. Now, the brainstorming rules include that they begin with a problem, that's a target or a problem, and it should not be a very lengthy or a very big problem. It has to be a brief problem and to the point. And they should refrain from judgment or criticism, as I told you just now. Quantity is more stressed, that as many quantity of ideas that you can derive, that is more encouraged. You should stay more visual in the sense uh, that is, as I told you, it's important that whatever you are supposed to, whatever is going to is supposed to be the motivating factor to think, should be written down very clearly on a kind of uh, on the board, on the blackboard, or on the whiteboard, or maybe even on the felt board. It can be pinned. So on the Jamboard it can be done. So it's a it should be visual. Okay, so whatever is said is welcomed, and it is noted down, it's recorded, or it's pinned down somewhere. And allow one conversation at a time, that everybody should not talk all together. There should be one at a time speaking, otherwise it's going to be a cacophony of voices. Next is brainstorming strategies. Now, what are brainstorming strategies? Here I have given a video where you can just watch a number of brainstorming strategies, which can be very crucial, very helpful. One of them being mind mapping, which we are going to do today. Let's proceed towards the next slide. Right. Now, brainstorming basically has certain advantages and certain disadvantages. Now, what are the advantages of brainstorming? Brainstorming basically aims at thought diversity. As many diverse ideas as you can think about, that is encouraged more. And quick idea generation is encouraged. That is, it should be fast, it should be rapid. You should not sit and think for 15 minutes and then come out with one answer. And it should be creative, innovative. There should be individuality in what you are saying. Disadvantages include that they are time consuming, and the screening of ideas are not done during the brainstorming session. So, and quantity is more encouraged rather than quality. Now here I've given just a hyperlink to an Excel file which shows the attendance of the brainstorming sessions attended, attendance of the certain students to to brainstorming sessions um, over a period of 3 weeks. And I've just taken a sample of 4 students just to demonstrate, and this is a graphical representation of the same. Now we come to one technique, a very important technique of brainstorming, which is called mind mapping. As you can understand with the term mind mapping, that is, map is something visual. As it was told in the points that it has to be visual. So map is something visual. So you create a visual picture, a picture which is imaginary picture in the mind of the individual, and it stays, whatever ideas you are giving them or whatever ideas are discussed, they retain in the visual memory of the individual. So it's an effective form of brainstorming, and it's a visual representation of ideas. So as you see, look at this one. This is the main parent node, and from there you get the various ideas generated and the sub ideas coming out of it. So that's how we tend to develop the mind map ideas. And if you, very difficult concepts, very difficult theories, if you remember with the form of mind mapping, many times, like in science, people draw a diagram and all they do is just on the basis of the diagram they do the description. So in this way, when we draw a mind map, whatever concept, whatever theory is there, that gets very deeply ingrained in our mind and into our visual memory. Here I have given you a video presentation which is basically on electronic mind mapping with the help of MindMaster, which is a software which you need to download, and through that you can do mind mapping on the computer, and you can share them anywhere with anybody through YouTube or through mail or whatever. So mind mapping technique, there are several other, of course, several other softwares available for this. So I've just given an example of MindMaster. So this is just a technique for creating electronic mind mapping. Okay. So that is all about the presentation today. Thank you.